All right, everybody, hello. Welcome back to Freestyle Friday. We have one final match for you this evening. It will be the Bears versus the Knights of the Champion League. Should be a pretty good one. The Bears slightly better in the standings, 20-10, 4-2 record thus far. And the Knights, 17-13, 3-3. We'll see which of these teams will come out ahead as we go ahead and get ready for this one. But before we do, I do just want to show you real quick what map we're going to be playing on. It is Manfield at night. Take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Game number one between the Champion League Bears and Knights underway. Best of five, well, not best of five. 5-game series, however, and we are just getting started with the first. Mike is my Ike and OG Krish, and I believe OG Krish is a sub for this game. Well, I don't know if I'm pretty sure he's on the main roster, but he wasn't scheduled to play. Did get put in last minute. Ryder can't make the touch to put that one home. Bears had an early opportunity, couldn't finish it off, and OG Krish will get the pass. Put the Knights up a goal here. Start game number one, 4 minutes, 21 seconds remaining in this game. Close call there on one end of the field, leads to another, or leads to a goal on the other. Ball is going to pop up. Ike is my Ike. Now towards the goal. OG Krish just off the mark. And Ryder now. Into Mike. Mike up to get this one. It's going to chip off his car, and OG Krish has to follow Kraserling back down. It's going to go way up high. No follow-up from Ryder. A bit too strong from Kraser. Will unfortunately lead to another missed opportunity for the Bears. OG Krish trying to get it past Ryder. Not going to happen. As now, Mike gets it over top of Kraser. OG back down for Ryder. High touch off the wall, and Ryder will see to that one. The 3 minutes 20 seconds remain. Still a 1-goal game, but make that 2 as OG Krish again following up on the pass from Mike is my Ike. Will find the back of the net. Ryder just a bit too high, couldn't find the touch to save that one. So Knights off to a quick start in game one. That ball is going to fall down for Ryder. He can't quite make the touch. Kraserling. Wow, a missed opportunity there again. This time for the Knights. Mike had an opportunity, but he bangs it off the goalpost. Now Kraser's got to run back for this. He's not going to get there. And the Knights are out to a blistering pace here in game number one. 3 goals in the first 2 minutes. Want to make their mark on this series early. The Bears, they've got to play in catch-up mode now as we push on through game number one. OG Krish towards the net. Will he find a fourth? No, Ryder makes the save. Mike has a chance to try to play this one. He will get it past Kraser. And now it's Ryder out of the blue corner. Didn't quite get the touch. Well, opt to leave it for Kraser, but Kraser not a lot of boost. Actually, no boost on him there. Ryder takes it away, but OG Krish wants to force the issue. Kraser almost gets dunked there by OG Krish. Fortunately for him, it will find its way away. Off the ceiling. Ryder looking for the touch. Gonna fall into the red corner. For Mike now to play it out. Kraser challenging him. Falling down, OG Krish. Off the corner wall, nothing happening, and looks like the Knights doing a much better job of controlling the pace of play. The Bears have not had a lot of space. Seems like the Knights are playing, they have a game plan where they want to challenge as much as possible. Even some rather risky challenges the Knights have managed to pull off. You know, eventually when you take this kind of risk-reward strategy, you'll eventually get scored on just kind of the law of averages. But so far, it's keeping the Bears at bay. They haven't been able to find any space to work with thus far, as this one will eventually find its way in. Outside of that, really, the Knights have played this super well through the first game. Just an unfortunate touch on the back wall for Mike. Will pull the Bears within 2 goals, and they've got 1:30 to find them. Certainly not out of the picture. But if you are the Knights, tacking on another one would be a huge boost. See if they can do it. Cracer wants to get this one out of the area. Krish didn't quite find the touch. Now Mike watching Ryder. A little late to the challenge there. He gets by Mike, but didn't get past the final man back. And now the Knights in transition. Ryder watching that go up the wall. He's going to follow it. He'll get a little bit of a touch. He didn't have a lot of boost. That's a double commit from the Knights. It almost goes in off the post. Now there's 45 seconds to go. They still need 2. Good save by Mike. Up the wall. Here comes Ryder. Oh, actually, he flips out of the way. Unfortunate from him there. And now Krish challenging Cracer. Off the post again. Mike up for it early. Won't find it, and Cracer clears it away. So down to the final 30 of this first game. Still 2 goals needed by the Bears to send us to overtime. Ryder keeps it out of the net. Now only 20 seconds. Good pass from Cracer. Can Ryder get to the touch? He does, but it's off the mark. Now there's only 13 seconds left. Krish playing it back towards his corner. Wasting as much time as possible is the name of the game for the Knights right now. 5 seconds to go. They need to score, but that's going to do it. Mike with the final clear. And nope, won't find the goal. It's still up in the air. Can Krish do something with this? Gonna get cleared away by Ryder. Back towards Ryder. It's still in the air. 3-1 the score right now. OG Krish keeping it alive in his corner. Will eventually touch the ground. But goodness gracious, the Knights come out swinging early on. They do find game number 1 on the back of that. We can certainly see just by the total, the shot total here. 10 shots in favor of the Knights, only 4 for the Bears. Not the best way to start a series if you're the Bears. Certainly came out a little bit slow. I'd like to see them kind of ramp up the pace here against the Knights. The Knights certainly just seem to be faster. Again, the Knights challenging just about everything. It seems like even the risky challenges, Mike just didn't seem to care about the consequences, and it worked out for him. But they're taking all of the Bears' space away, which is there we go. Sorry, we are getting into game number 2, but all of that space getting taken away from the Bears, it's really starting to pay dividends for the Knights. However, they weren't able to score in that final 3 minutes or so. They did have 3 goals to their name, but they weren't able to find the back of the net. We'll see if they can do it here. OG Krish got to force Tracer to put that into their net. Just like that, the Knights back on top. 1-0. And yeah, Cracer tries to go for the bump, gets a little bit too much. The ball finds its way into the back of the net. Here we go, Ryder over the top of one. Mike can't find the touch. Cracer will follow it up, and there we go. The Bears on the board. Tie this game up 1-1, 30 seconds in. Now both teams getting that early goal. A little bit of a defensive miscue, unfortunately. So here we stand, 1-1 in game 2. Cracer. Ooh, he got bumped there by Mike. This is going to give OG Chris a chance. But Cracer going to do it all for the Bears right there. My word. That, not the flashiest play, but honestly, I think that deserves a bit of a play of the week contender. Gets the challenge, gets the bump, watches the ball fall in. Beautiful play from Cracer to put his team in the lead. Only 40 seconds into this one, and already 3 goals scored. 2 for the Bears, 1 for the Knights. That will be cleared away. Ryder tries to keep it in for the Bears. They want to try to extend this lead as much as possible. The Knights, once they get their offense rolling, have been quite a force to be reckoned with. If they want to survive the eventual offensive onslaught of the Knights, more goals they have to buffer, the better. Right now it's only 1, and it looks like the Knights offense already starting to get underway. Cracer getting challenged by OG Chris. He gets the better of him there, but not a great touch from Ryder is going to put Cracer in a really awkward spot. Here comes Chris. Gets the challenge. Where's the follow from Mike? He's opting to back off a little bit there, and surprising given what they were doing in game number 1. Maybe a bit more respect being paid towards the Bears now that the Knights are behind a goal. That one's going to get cleared away. I think that's got a chance towards the net. It does. And now a bit of an overcommitment from the Bears. It looked like the Bears were opting for that Knights strategy of trying to suffocate the defense, but unfortunately they double commit on the same ball. Neither of them even close to getting there. That is a freebie of a goal for OG Krish, a boomer. Right into the open goal. So 2-2, 3-10. Go game number 2. Around the backside of the goal, Cracer Link will put it into the corner as OG Krish goes over top of Ryder. Can Mike make a play on this one? He does. And Cracer, the only guy back. Mike's going to get by him. Does he have an opportunity to play it towards the net? Oh, so close there. Almost broke the tie. And now the Knights have to hustle back to their own zone. Mike into the corner. Cracer just going to lob that one up high, looking for the dunk. Ryder will find it. Taking advantage of a bit of a slow play there from the Knights. Neither player wanting to commit to this. And Ryder's just going to put it home. Didn't have a lot of room there on that left post, but he found it. It's 3-2, a 1-goal lead again for the Bears. We approach halftime. Not surprised that this is a high-scoring affair in Game 2. Thus far, anyway. Pretty high scoring through the first 2 minutes in Game 1, so it only makes sense for Game 2 to follow suit. OG Krish out in front. Ryder's going to tack on another one. Bears taking advantage of the Knights' defense now. The Knights have not been able to get out of their own zone for the longest time. This is what I'm talking about. The Bears have to build up this buffer between them and the Knights. Because once the Knights start rotating on offense, assuming they continue to play the way they did in Game 1, it has been a bit questionable here so far. But let's see what they can do. That ball's going to go off the back. Well, here comes OG Krish. Can't find it. Mike won't be able to get the touch, and this is going to give Cracer a chance to push it towards the empty net, but OG back. Gets the touch. Oh, he almost got around that final defender. And that is not a great play by Mike, but it will not go in yet. Cracer gets demo on the backside, so Ryder going up for that a bit risk-free. Cracer going to challenge that early. Through mid there. Good challenge by him. Minute 30 is all that remains. That's towards the net. Ryder keeping it out of harm's way for now. Cracer next in line. Mike rotating back to try to meet this ball. Doesn't quite get the touch he wanted on it, although Cracer will lose that 50, and now the ball's back in the Bears zone. Ryder, however, wants to keep this ball away if he can. Good challenge from OG Krish, keeps the ball in the zone. Minute 4 to go. That one went way up high. Mike can't find the touch. Ryder, not the greatest play. He fell down on top of it, and Krish follows it up, goes barred down, but I was kind of scared there for a second. I thought maybe Krish got a bit too underneath that ball. Did find its way in, so the deficit is now only 1 in favor of the Bears with 55 seconds to go. Racer gonna clear that out of his own zone. Now it is on the Bears to try to find the equalizer. Gonna go around Cracer for Ryder. If the Bears can tack on an insurance goal, certainly that would spell the end to this. That's gonna go down. Did the double commit hurt them again? It did. Another overcommitment on offense, this time unnecessary from the Bears. However, it was a good bump, I believe, by OG Chris in the corner to keep the Bears player from getting back early on in that play. But still an overcommitment from the Bears. Gonna cost them, and we're tied. Only 25 seconds to go. Can the Knights make something of this? Mike looking for the demo. It's just enough to give OG Chris room, and the Knights are on top with 21 seconds to go. The demo play, the bump plays from the Knights have been so good, and it is paying dividends for them right now against this Bears team. And they have come back from down 2 goals in the final minute to being up by 1 with only 20 seconds left. Racer and Ryder have to score, or the Knights will take game number 2. Mike into the blue corner. 10 seconds to go. OG Krish keeping it in. And now we're in 0-second goal territory. They have to keep the ball up. It's not going to happen. The Knights will take game number 2 with, again, I was talking about the buffer. You need the buffer against this offense, because once they start to click, they can score, and they can score quickly. And OG Chris with 5 goals in that game. Wonderful play from him. Of course, Mike with 3 assists on the backside of that as well. The 3 of the 5 goals assisted in this game speaks to the level of teamwork between these 2 players. But still, plenty of games left. The Bears haven't lost this series quite yet. They are down by 2 as we move into game number 3. But the reverse sweep, still a possibility, always a possibility. But they need to change something up here, I think. They just kind of let their guard down there at the final minute mark. The double commits, certainly not doing them any favors. And really, they're just getting bullied a bit off the ball with the bumps and demos from the Knights. They need to kind of come up with a counter plan for that, because sometimes the Knights are a bit overzealous on those bump plays. They can pull themselves out of position trying to go for those too often. And here we stand, 2-0 in favor of the Knights, game number 3. Already some offense from the Bears. They've had a plethora of chances thus far. Nothing has found its way in. Its defense holding strong. And there's 30 seconds elapsed in this game 3. Racer demoing Mike. Has some room, but OG Krish getting up to that ball early, not letting Cracer any opportunity there. Mike towards the net. OG trying to challenge the defender, but nothing really being made of that. Now Mike goes up for this one. We'll get 1 touch. Cracer there to turn it around, however, and now a minute has elapsed in game number 3. Ryder trying to clear it away. It's now Cracer's ball to do something with this. Bit of a double commitment there from the Knights. Mike can't get the second touch, but OG Chris will clear it all the way back down and keep it in over top of Ryder. Backing up is Mike and Cracer challenging each other in the corners. A bit of a different start to this game than we saw in the first 2. Last game we saw, I think it was 3 goals in the first 30 seconds. Thus far, we are scoreless through about nearly 2 minutes, minute 45. Cracer wants to change that up, though. Wouldn't be surprised if this game is a close game, a one-goal game, but I would imagine a low-scoring one at that. Both of these teams want to shore up their defense. That comeback, while impressive from the Knights, is not a sustainable method to win matches. They don't want to get down early. At the same time, for the Bears, they don't want to go down at all. They don't have any wiggle room here. With a 2-0 series lead in favor of the Knights. The Ryder goes over top of one. That's turned towards the cage. Grayson Link in a bit of an awkward spot. Lucky that didn't bounce off his car and in. But now it's Ryder to try to get over top of Krish. Mike, however, will keep it in for Grayson to try to turn away. Playing a little game of, really it's just positioning and rotation. Not a whole lot of wonder touches, you know, nobody really making that play right now. More of just making sure that you're playing good fundamental Rocket League, not getting caught out of position, not playing the ball in areas that are unfavorable to you or favorable to your opponent. It's just solid defensive Rocket League for both of these teams. The first mistake will be a costly one, I'm sure, as we've got a minute 30 left. Ryder tries to clear it away. Up the wall. That one's going to fall down right into OG Krish, and now it's Ryder around the corner. Over top of Mike, but no challenge there from Cracer. So this one's going to be dangerous. Mike has no boost, but Ryder opted not to go for it, and Mike's going to win that challenge. That was probably the best opportunity for the Bears thus far. Just couldn't convert it. That's now Mike. Dips it around Cracer. He's only got Ryder to beat. Will he get it over top? No. Ryder getting the better of that one-on-one that time, and we still remain scoreless with 40 seconds to go. This one out towards the front. Ryder in on an awkward spot, but OG Krish can't find the touch. That pulls Ryder out of position, though. Cracer Link the only one in goal. He gets bumped, but Ryder able to make the play, and we still have nothing on the board with 25 seconds to go. I would not be surprised if this game meanders its way into overtime. Although Ryder has an opportunity, turns that towards the cage off the post, and he can't find the follow-up. This one right out in front for OG Krish to clear away. If they're not fast, this is going to go in. It does! The Knights on the board with 3 seconds to go. My goodness, back and forth. An absolute bomb from OG Krish put the Knights ahead by a goal. There's only 3 seconds to go. They could secure the victory in the series right here. It's going to pop up. Ryder, can he do something with this? OG Krish making the save. Cracer keeps it up. It's still in the air. Ryder back for it. Going to pop it up. They still have an opportunity. They need to do something. They bump into each other, and that's it. The Knights take the series in 3 straight games. I can't believe how close these games have been, and I don't think we've seen overtime yet, have we? Have we seen overtime? No, I don't think so. But they've all come down to the wire in these final games. But my goodness, the Knights take the 1-0 victory over top of the Bears. They do win the series 3-0. We are going to obviously play the final 2, as this is pretty important. Again, for both teams, if the Knights can sweep the Bears here, that gives them a huge, huge advantage going into the playoffs. They'll even, I mean, if the Knights win one more game, they're going to leapfrog the Bears in the standings. Well, would they? I'm not entirely sure. They're pretty much tied right now, but I guess head-to-head matters first, right? For tiebreakers, I don't. Yeah, head-to-head matters. Hold on. Let's get into game number 5. I'm not going to think about it right now. Either way, these final 2 games are very important to both of these teams. the Bears try to get on the board early. Unfortunate whiff by Cracer. Here we are, game number 4. No Ryder around the corner. We'll get the block onto Mike. Now it's OG Krish. Down for a Ryder to pop it back up. Ryder's got to be careful. We'll get challenged, but nothing doing for him thus far. As now it careens back towards the Bears net for Cracer to play away. He actually keeps control of that ball. We'll get it all the way down into the Knight zone. Looking to challenge Mike. Won't find it. Didn't have any boost really to go for a proper challenge. Has to make a save there. An awareness from the defense of the Bears. We are beyond a minute in game number 4. Going to be cleared away by Cracer or Mike. Out of his own corner. Has to get over top of Ryder. He accidentally undershoots that ball. But now OG Krish. Cracer off the sidewall. Not the greatest touch. And he almost spun himself into a submission there. But it does find its way in, and the Knights have a 1-goal lead. A minute and 30 into game number 3. Sorry, game number 4. We'll see. Can the Knights continue their push here? That's a save, and it goes off the crossbar. As Ryder's going to turn it around. He can't quite get the flick. He had an open net if he could flick that one. But unfortunately could not get it to work. Though it still remains a 1-goal game in favor of the Knights. Going to bounce out in front for Ryder to clear away. Cracer is there looking for a touch, but OG Krish will get up to it early and steer it away. Good pinch from Ryder to put it back in the Knight zone. Still only a 1-goal game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We are approaching halfway, but still plenty of time for the Bears to try to even this series. I'm sorry, even this game. Cracer gonna get a demo on Mike. Gets the next bump, but the ball not quite angled enough towards the goal. Cracer with a good idea. Just unfortunate that it didn't fall in for him. He's going to get an opportunity here. OG Krish with a big save. Ryder can't follow it up, and now the Knights go in transition. Can they make a touch out of the corner? It's a bit of an awkward one. Cracer will be able to boom it down the field. Right into Mike. Now here comes Krish. One-on-one with Ryder. Touch along the sidewall favors Ryder, but this one will find its way in. OG Krish making it 2-0 for the Knights, just beating Cracer out to that ball. Cracer not taking the greatest line there to get there, unfortunately. So we play on. 2 minutes to go. 2-0. Cracer gonna get the bump on OG Krish. He's going to open up some space for Ryder now. Mike really hungry for some boost. Krish able to make the challenge away, and now it's time for the Bears to play a little bit of defense. But as I say that, Cracer got to transition to the offensive side of the ball. They'll stay in the red corner. OG Krish tries to play it away, and now Ryder. Krish ends up getting demoed by Cracer, but it kind of pulled Cracer out of position. He did get a good 50, but not able to keep it in, and now the Knights have possession, although Ryder taking it towards mid. Again, Cracer just not in the greatest position to try to make a touch. It's a fortunate bounce off the wall that Mike was unable to read, and now the Bears are back on offense. Got a minute and 2 seconds. Find a way to score 2, maybe 3, no, not quite. Well, maybe, oh no, good save there from Ryder. Will remain at 2. But that one will eventually find its way in, and the Knights taking command of this series, already up 3-0 in the series, and now up 3-0 in game 4. Only 48 seconds to go. Not looking good for the Bears. But there is still one more game to play after this one. Game number 5. Still time for the Bears to adjust how the Knights are playing. Try to find something that works. It's going to be a 4th goal on the board for the Knights, and I think a lot of it comes down to the Bears not being behind early on. Playing from behind is so much more difficult in these types of situations, and you know that a lot is on the line here. So when you are behind, all you focus on is getting that next goal. It can pull you out of position sometimes and make the plays where they need to be made, and I think that is going to be an important point for the Bears in Game 5. They will get one back. Good flick from Kracer. But regardless, doesn't change how this game will end. Will be the Knights taking a 4-0 series lead. And again, from the Bears, have one final game to make an adjustment, put themselves on the board in the series. Oh, that one doesn't quite go in from Chris. He tried it. So close. Not going to happen today. The Knights take 4 straight against the Bears, and now this next game, crucial for both of these teams. The Knights would absolutely love a sweep here over top of the Bears, but for the Bears, if they want to try to hold on to their spot in the leaderboards, they've got to win this next game. We're going to have to see. It has been a wonderful series. The Knights have played it very, very well. I'm happily surprised by how the Knights have come out and fought in this game. Their offense has been clicking, certainly. We've seen that throughout the series. But not just the offense. On all sides of the ball, the Knights have just been the faster team so far tonight. There was a little bit of a space of time that was a bit rough for some of these teams. Let me just make sure that we are go. Sorry guys, give me one quick second. I just want to make sure that these players, because I don't have chat on in game. Looks like we are good to go. Okay, so sorry about that. The players, I just want to make sure that nobody needs like a server reset or what have you. Yes, we are underway. Game in number 5. For the Bears, need to make something work here. Down by 4. I would love to see them get on the board early. They can get on the board early. They can play from, at least a neutral standpoint instead of having to play from behind, and that is going to do it. There we go. The Bears on the board first. Yet again, the physical stuff, the bump plays working out for the Bears. I like what I see from them. Just need to get more shots on net. Just need to capitalize on the opportunities they're given. Tighten up a little bit on defense, and could be a completely different series. As it stands, Mike is going to score directly off the kickoff to completely negate my point about them needing to score early, because we're tied now in the same amount of time. Only 30 seconds gone. So this one. Now for Chris towards the net. Way up high. Gonna come down. Can Mike put a touch on it? He does. Bounces off the crossbar. One more from Mike will secure the goal. And it's 2-1 now for the Knights, and the Bears yet again face the situation of having to play from behind. We're only 40 seconds in. Are down a goal. 3 goals already being scored. Ball played into the half wall. Mike towards the net. Bracer turning it outside. OG Chris rotating all the way back. Has to play it out of his own corner. Will do so, but Ryder now off the back. Well, no. Mike checked him there, and we've played a minute in game number 5. All the way across the pitch for OG Chris to get past Cracerlink. Here's an opportunity for Mike. All he's got to do is tap it in. He does. And the transition yet again working in the favor. The boys in red. Easy little goal there for Mike, and they're up by 2 now, and for the Bears. This next minute, minute and a half, we'll say this next minute 50 is an extremely crucial point of this game. They need to score at least 1 in this next minute 50, I think, for them. For me to confidently say they have a chance of coming back in game 5 and getting at least 1 game win in this series. That ball's gonna fall down. Cracerlink can't find the touch. He now will pop it up for OG Chris to have to play aside. Ryder gets the second touch off the wall. Chris, though, good defensive position to keep it away. Now Cracer looking to make a touch. Gonna go off the back wall. Mike. Over top of Ryder. A great play, and he's gonna score another. That's his 4th goal of the game. And Mike absolutely securing this victory for the Knights. Not going to say that game 5 is over quite yet. Still plenty of time. 3 goals in 3 minutes is certainly doable. But regardless of how this game turns out, Mike has absolutely stepped up to the plate in this series. He is certainly my candidate for MVP of the series, regardless of how the rest of this game goes. Ryder hits the crossbar. Can Cracer find the touch? Gets it around 1, and then even the block. The Bears cannot seem to find a way to beat the Knights. They can't pay for a goal if they wanted to. As now that one kind of gifted to them by Mike, though. A little bit of a overconfidence play. I'm not entirely sure, but the Knights certainly going to get punished for that. Cracer with a long-range bomb. Make it 4-2. .220 is what remains here. Still, certainly doable by the Bears. They only need 2 goals. Cracer going to start the offense off. Ryder trying to follow him up. That one's going to come down, but OG Chris somehow gets back in the nick of time to keep it away, and now we're down to the final 2 minutes. Can Chris get over top of Ryder? Not quite. Now it's Mike into the corner. Looking to make the play on Ryder. Not going to be able to find it. Chris keeping it into the corner. However, Cracer clearing it away. Mike, good save. Going to get bumped, but OG Chris rotating back again to help his teammate out. He has been so huge on these defensive plays. Going to get the pass across. It's not going to matter. That one's just going to bounce home for OG Chris, and the lead is now 3 again. This time, only a minute 30 remains in this game. It's not looking good for the Bears, unfortunately. Chat, might want to get your broomsticks ready. We are very, very close to seeing a sweep this evening. And for the Knights, you have to be absolutely thrilled what you've seen so far from really both teams. But hey, there we go. That's a bit of a comeback for the Bears. Mike has to make a decent save, but Ryder in position to follow it up. Was expecting a pass. Ended up kind of getting one anyway. 1:10 to go as Mike plays it out of his corner. Down to the final minute. Ryder towards the empty net, and now it's possible. I'm not quite sure what happened to the Knights defense. Yeah, both players unfortunately missing their challenges. And that's a free goal for the Bears. Not what you want when you're up by 3. Really, I mean, they were only up by 2 at that point, but yeah, now it's a game again. The Bears have 55 seconds. Try to tack on one more. Spoil this sweep, almost. Comes down in front. Mike has to make a solid rotational play. Oh, no, not like this. Oh, Cracer. Bailing out his teammate there, and we stay at a 1-goal game. 35 seconds to go. Mike towards the net. Ryder gonna boom it back down. Krish in a very defensive position. Well, now boom it back down. 25 seconds to go. Now only 15. What will happen here? They've got to get the ball out to the Bears. Ryder booming it downfield. OG Chris rotating around to try to play it. Not the greatest clear. Can't get to it. Will Ryder, and that is going to do it. The sweep is complete. The Knights take all 5 games from the Bears in Champion League. So congratulations to them. That will almost certainly. I can only hope that will almost certainly secure them a spot in the playoffs, and they leapfrog themselves right over top of the Bears in this final week. So congratulations to them. GG's to everybody involved, but the Knights just look to be a bit more on point. That's got to give them a ton of confidence going into the playoffs. Ton of confidence. But guys, that is it for us tonight. A fantastic Rocket League. And of course, the stream dedicated to our lost friend in Rick. So please, hope you guys will join us tomorrow as we continue. Also, if you don't know, we are streaming on Sunday as well. 3-day stream to cover as much action as possible as we approach the playoffs. So guys, I hope that you will join us tomorrow. Again, all bits and donations tomorrow will go towards the GoFundMe for Rick's family. And if you would like to donate to that, of course, there is always the link that you can grab from Streamlabs bot posting every now and then in chat. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Congratulations to all of these wonderful teams for tonight. Played some fantastic Rocket League. But we will see you again 8 o'clock tomorrow for Primetime Saturday here on MLE. Thanks again so much for watching, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Have a great night, everybody.